What's up everybody, Aditya Mahajan here and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. In today's video, we'll be solving another hard question of lead code, question number 1354, also called as construct target arrays with multiple sum. It has also been asked in day 9 of me lead code challenge, so let's get started. Given an array of integers target, from starting array A consisting of all ones, you may perform the following procedure. Let x be the sum of all elements currently in your array. Choose index I such that I belongs to the target and set the value of A at index I to x. You may repeat this procedure as many number of times as needed. Return true if it is possible to construct the target array from A, otherwise return false. Some of the constraints that we are given is the length of the target vector is of order 5 into 10 to the power 4 and every value of target can have at max 10 to the power 9. So now let us look at a few examples to understand the problem statement better. The question is saying that we'll be given an target array and we need to create a new array of the same size but all elements having numbers as 1. Okay, and we need to reach this newly created array having all values as 1 to the target. Okay, so we can do a few operations on it, and the operation that we can do is we can basically select any number from the newly created array and replace that number with the current sum of all elements of the array. Okay, for example, the first example we have elements 9 3 and 5, so we start with 1 1 1, and if we choose the middle index and decide to replace that, so the sum at this point of time is 3 of all the elements, so we replace it with 3. At next step we choose this index, and at this point of time the sum of all elements is 5, so we replace it with 5. And next index we finally choose this index, and at this point of time the sum is 5 plus 3 plus 1, which is 9, so we finally achieve the target. Okay, so as we have achieved the target, we return true. Okay, similarly in the second example, as we have the target is 1 1 1 and 2, so it is basically impossible to reach this target because the starting array that we will be creating would be 1 1 1 and 1. So the sum at this point of time, even at the first step, is 4, so there is no way we can bring 2 at this point. Okay, so now let us look at how we can approach to this problem. To understand the solution of this problem, I want you to start thinking in terms of what are the operations that we are performing. Okay, so if you see, we are creating a new array with all having values 1 and then try to perform operations so as to reach the target. But some people might think in terms of recursion, that we have choice whether to choose any particular index, but that is not leading anywhere. Okay, so let us try to go we have thought of operations what we are performing, but that is not working, so let us try to go in the reverse order. That is, think of, we are given the target, and is there any way we can reach to all the vector elements to 1 by performing the operations. Okay, so if you go in reverse order, there is a very interesting thing that is happening. So at every index that we know that what was the index that was replaced, that is 9 5 and 3, and if you closely look at these indices, these are the largest elements at that particular step that we are performing. Okay, so 9 is largest at this step, 5 is largest at this step, 3 is largest at this step, and it has to be because what we were doing in straight order is we were taking the sum of all elements and replacing it, so it has to be the largest. Okay, so this property this way has helped us a lot, that now we know what is the exactly the index that is being replaced if we go in reverse order. That is, the largest element is replaced at each position. Okay, so now let's say that we know that largest element is replaced, but how we find the what was the previous element that was present on that largest element in the previous step. So let's say we have 9 3 and 5, and we can say that 3 and 5 would remain same, but what would be the element that would be present at the place of 9? Okay, so to find that, uh, what we are doing is we are taking sum of all elements and putting it back. Okay, so we will just do the reverse of that. That is, to take the element that was present, that is 9 was present, and subtract it with the rest of the elements, adding them. That is, rest of the elements are 3 and 5, so when we add 3 and 5 we are getting 8, and when subtracting from 9 we are getting 1. Okay, which was the element that was present. Okay, so now we exactly know what element is being replaced, and also we know what was the previous number of that modified element. Okay, so basically we can go to the reverse step of each index or each step. Okay, so we go on doing this step recursively, not we can do it iteratively too. We go on doing this step, and if we reach this with the vector all having ones, then we return true because reverse is possible. And by chance, if at any particular index any element goes below 0, then we can return false because we can say it is not possible. The only problem that can come up with this approach is that let's say we have something example, like let's say we have 1 comma 10 to the power 9, and it is the maximum element that we can have. So basically this is the target, and if we try to reach this to 1 comma 1, then at every step this would be the largest element, that is 10 to the power 9, and it would go on subtracting 1 from 10 to the power 9, and until it reaches both as 1, and it would definitely give us the TLE. Okay, so what we can basically do is we can take the second largest element into the account, and while subtracting any number from the largest element, we take a multiplier such that that multiplier, after multiplying it to the from the subtractor, then it gives us the resulting element which is just smaller than or at least equal to the second largest element. Okay, so let's say that multiplier is n, and we can get that element by subtracting the largest minus the second largest, it is second largest, and dividing it by the sum of the rest of the elements. Okay, so if you do that, that case would be handled. Okay, so now let us look at how we can implement the solution. So before starting to code our solution, let us quickly look at what is the data structure that we would be using. Okay, so what we are basically doing is we are taking the targets, and then from the target our operation is that there is a flow of elements, that is we would be having all the elements, and at every point of time we would be requiring the two largest elements. Okay, so while thinking of largest elements, the only data structure that comes is heaps. Okay, and you can use max heap because we require max elements. Whenever we pop any element from max heap, we get the greatest element. Okay, so we'll be using max heap, and it can be implemented with priority queue in C++. Okay, so this is the code for the approach that we just saw. So basically this is the corner case, that is whenever we have just single element in the target, and if we are checking that if target element is 1. Okay, so if it is 1, then we return true, else we return false, because if it is not 1, then there is no way we can make that from 1. Okay, so after that we are creating a sum variable which would basically contain the sum of all the elements that are present in that vector of target. So we are just doing a for loop and adding every element of target to sum. After that we are creating the max heap with the help of priority queue, and we are just passing the target vector to the constructor of priority queue. It will make the max heap for us. After that we are entering a while loop, so that this while loop would exit whenever the top of the max heap would contain 1. Whenever the top would become 1, it would exit out of this while loop, because that is the condition that we need to stop. So in each iteration, what we are doing is we are taking the two largest elements, that is the largest and the second largest element. Okay, so the second largest is required to calculate the multiplying factor that we just saw in the problem that we are facing. Okay, so we know the top element would give us the largest, so we are taking that, we are popping that, and we are again taking the top element, so it would give us the second largest number. After that we are creating one more variable, rest array sum, which would basically be the sum of all the elements leaving the largest element, because we would be removing the largest element, right? So this is that. After that, now we are calculating the multiplying factor, that is n, and it would basically be the formula that we just saw, that is largest minus second largest divided by the rest array sum, that is the sum minus the largest. Okay, and we are also considering this case, that is maximum of 1, or this formula, because if you think that the largest and second largest by some in some cases, if they become equal, in that case it would numerator would become 0, and in short this would become 0, but we need the multiplying factor to be at least 1. Okay, so we are just taking max of 1 or the multiplying factor that we get by that. Okay, after that we are subtracting the rest array sum, and multiplying it with the multiplying factor so that we do not reach TLE in the cases that we saw, and just subtracting that from the largest element that we are having. Okay, so after subtracting, we will get what was the previous element that was supposed to be present at that place. Okay, so largest is subtracted. Now this is the previous element, so we are just pushing it back to the maxi right now, and after that we are just updating our sum variable, that is sum plus the rest array sum, that was removing the largest element plus again adding the previous element that was supposed to be there. Okay, and finally we are just checking if largest is less than 1, because if it is less than 1, then it is not possible to generate the target from the 111. In that case we just return false. If that is not the case, we again iterate in the while loop. Okay, so once we exit out of this while loop, it means that we have not returned false. Okay, that means that we are left with an array having all elements to be 1, so which is why we just return true, and that's it. That's the solution. Now let's just try to run our code. Okay, now let's just submit it, and yes, we are getting faster than 59%, and memory usage is 28.6 MB. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you did not understand anything, comment below. I will try to help you out as fast as possible. Also, if you need more such LeetCode content, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord server, and that's all. See you in the next video. Bye bye.